We are over the moon to be here with Mickey and the gang underneath the shimmering spires of Space Mountain as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Tomorrowland's most out-of-this-world attraction.
Serena, I think it's time to blast off to many more years of excitement, inspiration, and family memories.
Roger that, Shannon. All right, gang, we're ready to launch. Wait a minute. Look who just landed. It's Astronaut Donald. Hi, pal. Hi, pal. Donald, you're just in time. We're a go for launch. Mission control, commence countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1! Happy anniversary, Space Mountain!
My first memory of going on Space Mountain, I had two older brothers. I still have them, as a matter of fact, Jason and Jeff. And they raved about going on this ride. And I was 10 years and 8 years younger than both of them. And I remember my dad dragging me onto Space Mountain for the first time. Must have been 6 years old, so like 1987. And I'm young. And I was scared at first. And then getting off of it, I was absolutely exhilarated. The Space Mountain was my rite of passage into all of the thrill attractions that I now long to go on every time I go to a Disney park. So thank you, Space Mountain, for breaking me in.
Almost every year, we would drive from Michigan to Florida in 24 hours. My dad would say, okay, time, we gotta go on all the rides. There was no time to chicken out. And I remember that first time I was tall enough to ride Space Mountain, I was terrified, but then within 60 seconds, I was electrified. Both of my boys, 6 and 8, got to ride Space Mountain for the first time this year. And I have to say, they talk about it regularly, especially my 8-year-old. He wants to go on every Space Mountain ever so he can compare them. He loves it.
So my favorite Space Mountain memory, when I was first hired here, I was working in the Magic Kingdom as an engineer, and my first job assignment was to go work on Space Mountain. I remember coming in that morning, walking through the park where there were only cast members in there, and walking up to Space Mountain, looking up at Space Mountain, thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe I get to do this for a living.
My favorite memories riding Space Mountain are every single time that I can ride it with my family. Every time we come to the parks, it's the first ride that we want to ride. And it's just always so much fun and so magical. And I personally love whenever we get to pose for the photos because we've done it so many times, we know when the camera turns on. And it's just always magical. We love it. When my sister was little, she wanted to ride Space Mountain so badly, but she was never quite tall enough. And she remembers, we were talking about this last night, so vividly when she was tall enough to ride Space Mountain, and it was like the best day ever.